Hello out there, casual fanatics. Jeremy here. And, well, I was reading one of my local independent newspapers here, the Oklahoma Gazette. I love it because it's free, shows up at my work every week. And I was reading through it, and I noticed that there was a letter to the editor. And I'd like to read this letter to the editor because, oh my god, this is so... It explains itself. Alright, this is in relation to a previous edition, a letter to the editor that compared Donald Trump to Khan, as in Star Trek's Khan Noonien Singh, the despot, genetically altered potential tyrant, which really is kind of an insult to Khan because Khan was an intelligent, successful leader. He just found his better in Captain Kirk, a guy who does not know the meaning of the word quit. So, let's see what this person says. And by the way, for the sake of this person's privacy, i.e. to protect the moron, I am not going to be sharing his name or the city where he's from. No, I don't want to do that. You can probably look it up for yourself anyway, but I just want to address them as the idiot he is and not give his name any kind of credence. So, let's get started. And I quote, Mr. Perry, why did you liken Donald Trump to Star Trek's Khan in your September 21st Gazette letter? I prefer to liken him to Captain Kirk, a take-charge leader who is outside of the political corruption of the day. Really? Really? You went there. You see Donald Trump as Captain Kirk. You see Donald Trump as the hero. So, someone who watches a lot of Star Trek, the original series, or even the movies, remind me at any point where Donald Trump wanted to build a wall out on the neutral zone to keep the Romulans out? Because I don't think that happened. Does anyone remember the time when Captain Kirk saw a female captain of another ship and wanted to go after her for like just the little itty bitty bits of scandals? Because I don't remember that happening. But it gets better. Maybe you're familiar with the saying, better dead than red. We're bringing up the specter of McCarthyism in 2016. We are bringing back fear of the Cold War in 2016, or at least this guy is. You know the only person that has the right or the ability to bring up the specter of the Cold War is? Not this asshole! Vladimir Putin, possibly, but not this asshole. Continuing. Which refers to patriotic Americans who defied the Cuban and Russian threats of the 1960s. Like I said, specter of McCarthyism, trying to bring up the Cold War again. You know, I remember when TV shows that I watched that I was a kid made a big deal about Glasnost and the fact that we finally had peace with the Russians and that Gorbachev and Yeltsin were actually guys that we can work with. And now we're bringing back some of the fear from the generation just before me. I hate 2016 so much. Also, if the Christians of earlier centuries had not chosen to defy Rome, as in the Roman Empire and the Roman Church, you would have never had a Judeo-Christian America. WRONG! Most of the founding fathers were not Christian. They believed in God, but they were not Christian. And there is nowhere in either the Declaration of the Independence or the Constitution that establishes Christianity as the basis for government or, in fact, the official religion of the United States. In fact, the Constitution went out of its way in the Bill of Rights to make sure that didn't happen. Screw you! Your point of view is backwards. The Democrats, independents, and our weak Republican brothers and cousins need to repent of their political corruption and moral failures and save the country from being a weak culture that is fodder for the Russians, Chinese, or Muslim leaders, the likes of Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, the other shoe just dropped. Yep. Clearly what's going on here. Clearly we can tell what's going on here. Nope. This boy ain't racist at all, is he? This boy? Oh my God. I believe Donald Trump is the only available candidate with the intelligence and courage to beat our enemies, internal and external, by outsmarting them. Donald Trump is going to outsmart our enemies. That would be so funny if it wasn't sad and depressing. Okay, I'm not the biggest Trekkie, but let me drop a little knowledge on you. First off, you realize the Federation is not a capitalist society, right? They don't have money. They don't have scarcity. They are basically socialist. Everything that they have is shared within the member groups of the Federation, which, by the way, are, well, in the original series, mostly represented by humans, are a collaboration of alien species, like the Vulcans. And in later series, other groups join the Federation. The Klingons ally with them, and members of the Klingon race become part of the Federation, i.e. Worf. You have the Bajorans, who join the Federation. You have the Federations, which ally themselves with the Federation. You have alien race upon alien race. The Talaxians from Voyager. A former Borg joins Voyager. You have aliens after aliens after aliens, all joining the Federation. Why? Because the Federation accepts them. You honestly think that Donald Trump is going to be like the Federation? You honestly think that he's going to be like that? This big racist demagogue is going to just turn around and accept people? Well, clearly, actually, you don't, because you're saying that he's going to beat them. You're trying to set them up as the enemy. Oh, and by the way, Khan is not Muslim. Indian, but not Muslim. In fact, for that matter, I don't even think Ricardo Montalban was Muslim. So, way to show even more of your stupidity and your bigotry, sir. And on top of that, Captain Kirk himself? Not exactly a peddler of racism back then. In fact, I'm pretty sure he was in favor of positive relations with multiple alien races. Oh, wink, nudge. This was a guy who went to planets that had racism and was looking at them like, the fuck you doing? And most of the time, because the Enterprise is a science vessel whose mission is to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, and to boldly go where no one has gone before. Well, no man in the original series, but you know. It's a science vessel, which means they're all about exploring and learning new things. Most of the time, they tried to solve things peacefully. Yes, occasionally you had him rip off his shirt and get in a fight with somebody, but that was usually only if there was no other recourse. And yes, the Enterprise had phasers and proton torpedoes to defend itself if it had to. But again, science vessel! An exploration machine, not a warship! The Federation had warships. They started building up warships in response to the increasing Borg threat, for one thing, and also later on in because of the rise of the Dominion. But the Enterprise, the flagship of the entire fleet, always a science vessel. The original Enterprise, Enterprise A, Enterprise B, Enterprise C, Enterprise D, Enterprise E. Every Enterprise built to be a science vessel. Meanwhile, your guy is so anti-science, he thinks that global warming is a hoax by the Chinese. Oh yeah, he's so bright, he's so intelligent. He's totally the guy who will find a way out of a no-win situation. Oh my god, this election has brought out the dumb in so many people. I mean, I admit to a great deal of bias against Trump, but look back at our podcast episodes. It's on record. We've gone over them. Donald Trump wouldn't know success if it slapped him in the face. I really slapped myself and that hurt. Donald Trump doesn't know what success actually is, because the one thing that he's done that has actually been semi-successful doesn't even have his name on it. The Apprentice. And I'm pretty sure that if NBC felt so inclined, they could either A, cancel the show, or B, fire him and replace him with someone who actually knows what the meaning of success is. Like, say, someone who, instead of wasting away their billions, actually managed to keep their billions during a time when most billionaires at that time went broke. Like, say, Mark Cuban. Oh, wait, he already has his own show. It's on ABC. It's called Shark Tank, and it's pretty good. Donald Trump being Captain Kirk. I don't even have that great of a knowledge of Star Trek because I don't watch it all that often, and yet I still know better. The only thing I can think of is that maybe he's not thinking of Federation Kirk. Maybe he's thinking of Mirror Universe Kirk from the Terran Empire, but even then, Mirror Universe Kirk ultimately failed because there was a mutiny by his first mate, Mirror Spock. Check. Mate. Bye.